I still have the sign. Hi, Jorf. Everybody go follow Jorf. Jorf rules. And go to his Bandcamp. I mean, we've been playing music from Jorf this afternoon, and it rules, and he rules, so go support Jorf. Alright, I don't have a Bandcamp. I just have Blazing Lasers, and this game can go sideways. You'll notice that I don't have the end screen up here, which probably means it's doomed to disaster, but this game should not be... I don't know why I'm going to say it. I'm not going to jinx it, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say because I started saying it. This game should not be as harrowing as Final Lap Twin, for example, but it can absolutely go sideways, so we're going to try to keep it straightforward. Let's go. This is a TurboGrafx game, but I don't have to hold down turbo, or hold down turbo. I don't have to use the turbo button because it's, you know, the shmup with auto fire. How is everyone doing? You guys enjoying the last day of TurboFest? Yeah, I'll take the... This is the one time, hopefully, that you'll see Ring Blaster. Did you enjoy it? That was it. Rodeo of Blood? Yeah, Rodeo of Blood is my favorite, Do we want to go with Bull Sylvania or Castle Bolnia? Cowboyvania. Cowboyvania! Yes! There it is! Cattlevania is also good. I'm actually paying attention to chat, which I normally struggle to do in these marathon runs. So that's not necessarily the best choice. Oh god, we should... Okay, so there's so much to discuss in this game. I just like completely talked over all the wacky laser progressions and everything. What I have right now is the Field Thunder, which is the laser beam, and then I have the Firepower upgrade for it, which allows it to be basically a homing laser. This is a pretty good weapon as long as we're not dealing with a ton of stuff on screen at once, because it tends to kind of focus on one thing. And if there's a bunch of stuff on screen, that's no good for you, because you want to kill all of the stuff. When in doubt in this game, get the S, that's shield. We're going to roll with the Field Thunder with the Firepower upgrade right now, though, because it's the first stage. Hey, White Hat. But this is a Compile shmup. This was like a co-venture. This was developed by Compile and published by Hudson Soft. So it doesn't quite feel like Musha, for example, but it does have the Telltale Compile attribute of having completely insane laser weapons. Let's see if I can't... that wasn't so good, alright. But you see how it kind of like hovers around and will rotate around and do crazy business like that. Oh, what did I screw up now? Hang on. Oh, never mind. Okay, that was something else. Good. That was just unfortunate timing, that's all. It's like, I'm pretty sure it says Blazing Lasers on the screen today. It doesn't say Metal Stoker. But when I switch off of this, which I'll go ahead and do now. So here's level 3. There's level 4 lasers. There's 5 levels of laser. So we just went up to level 4, and you can see it's covering a pretty wide swath, which is pretty nice. But you'll notice that there's little alleyways between the lasers. That can get you into a little bit of trouble depending on the how the enemies progress and whatnot. So there's going to be another level of this, and I've switched to the shield here. The shields will go away over time. If you take too many hits, they'll go away a little bit faster. But yeah, like I wish they didn't time out. So now we're at level 4 laser here, which is just nuts. That's what Compile does. They're like, okay, so level 1 is going to be straight shot. Level 2, we're going to add a little bit of curve to it, a little bit of rectangular attribute. Level 3, it's going to be a giant square. Level 4, it's going to be like a bowling alley. And level 5, it's just going to go every which way. And this is a blessing and a curse. You also notice that I have this item right here that I'm shooting, and I'm keeping it in place. Now, it's rotating through different items. I could pick it up if I wanted to. I don't want to, though. Not yet, because I'm going to change it. Look at that. So what I did there, not only did I clear the screen of all the riffraff that was there, but I got an item that allows me to respawn immediately if I die, right on the screen. So if I don't get those, I have one right now, and I want at least one for every life that I collect in the game. Because you know, like shmups, you don't want to die. It really cramps your style if you die in this game. Way worse, though. Way worse if you die and have to go back in the stage if you don't keep your forward progress. So, let's drop a bomb on it. Oh, hit my shield a little bit there. That's okay. Let's sneak over here. So you see the shield is changing colors a little bit there. It's about to run out. Let me know. Which is nice. Get up here. Okay. Good enough. And so you'll notice I have what appears to be a different shield now. It's not a shield. It's basically saying you can take one hit and keep your laser. If I take another hit, then my laser will go down to my laser will downgrade on the first hit. My laser will go away on the second hit, and then I'll die on the third hit. Unless I run into something like straight up, like direct contact with like a ship or something, then I just die. It doesn't matter. All that stuff that I just said. So it has some layers to how the lives work and how your ability to stay alive works. Basically, the essence is avoid the bullets. Dodge bullets. And, you know, sometimes you just gotta keep it simple. How many bits is this game? Well, so strictly speaking... Oh, see, so I did get hit while I was reading chat there. This is why I don't read chat during marathons. But the question was how many bits? So there's some debate on that. The TurboGrafx, strictly speaking, is an 8-bit console, but I think it has a 16-bit something. So part of it is 16-bit. So, you know, it's called the TurboGrafx 16 for that reason. But it's sort of like how the Jaguar was a 64-bit system, but not really. This is like, you know, kind of... So you're seeing the full laser progression now, too, so please enjoy how all the wacky twists and turns it takes, quite literally. I actually like this one quite a bit. It kind of doubles as a shield, although it doesn't clear out projectiles, but clears out stuff around me. So it kind of is a matter of personal preference, whether you care to consider this a 16-bit or an 8-bit shmup. I think it's pretty comparable to anything you'd... Well, actually, it's way better than anything you'd get shmup-wise on the Super Nintendo. They just... they could do rotation, but their shmups did not hold up so well. I mean, I love Gradius 3 and everything, but there's lots of lag on Super Nintendo shmups. Genesis obviously had a great shmup lineup. It's well known for that. Another, like I mentioned earlier, Musha. I mean, that's another compile game, one of the all-time greats, at least for console shmups. But yeah, this I mean, this hangs with any of those as far as I'm concerned. So I can either shoot this thing and do enough damage, and I should mention that this is probably fairly obvious. The laser doesn't just, or the Field Thunder as it's actually called, doesn't just cover a large amount of screen space, but it also does the most damage of any of the weapons. So in most cases, I'll just stick with this. But I can either destroy the multi-pickup. I don't know what the is actually called, but it's, you know, it rotates through. I can destroy those, or I can let them hit the bottom of the screen and then it'll switch over. But it's really slow to get to the bottom of the screen, so usually I try to destroy it. It kind of depends on how quickly I notice it and whatnot. This was actually the first... Well, I guess technically I played Blanc. Blanc is my favorite Blanc game. Technically I played Blanc when I was like 7 or 8 years old, something like that. But this is the first TurboGrafx game I ever purchased, which was for the Virtual Console. You guys remember Gaming Age forums? Remember GAF? Well, I remember reading on there one day, like, oh, hey, TurboGrafx coming to the Virtual Console. Blazing Lasers is out. I'm like, what on earth is Blazing Lasers? Let me check this out. And you know, the games were pretty reasonably priced. I think it was like $5 or something like that. So like, oh, let's dip our toes into these waters, see what happens. And I mean, this game is a kick in the teeth. There we go. We got full laser upgrade again, so we're just going all over the place. But I never beat this game until we had announced the Turbo Fest. This was finally the impetus to do it because it's like, man, this is like kind of sort of my first TurboGrafx game, and I love shmups, and it's always good to get that extra kick to finally complete a game you're working on. Yeah, I know my run is next. Thank you. Bye. It's a real good one. It's I don't think this was a launch title, but it came out shortly after launch, I think. It's got pretty solid music. It gets real hectic. And it's really long. You see the estimate at, I think I put it at 57 minutes. World record, at least as far as I know, is 52:08 per my timer. I haven't found a faster run yet. Normally, shmups aren't really the focus of speedrunning so much. But it's a time that can be improved. So, please, if you enjoy this, go and run this game and play it and enjoy it. The console seller. Maybe. I didn't realize how big of a deal this game was until a few years later. This is kind of considered like one of the great shmups. At least from what I can tell. I was not there paying attention to this stuff in the time or place when it really came out, but it seems to be very fondly remembered. It's not quite a bullet hell type game or anything. It does really get going though, as around about Area 5 is where this game really takes a turn for the brutal. And we just want to collect. Really, in Stage 3 here, things can start to go sideways if you're not careful, or if you just kind of get unlucky. We'll do what we can there. There's basically some items that you don't want to mess around with. Like, you do not want the field or the firepower for the laser in this stage because there's way too much going on the screen, and it just will basically not attack anything, and you'll end up getting killed. So of course they start you off by trying to get you to collect that. The first sub item is the firepower. Rude. And they put all of these things on screen here. There's so much destructible stuff in the environment that we have to sift through. So I want the multi-item to kind of come down the screen a little bit. I can definitely get multi-body there. So now I have an extra shooter. It's basically like an option from Gradius. So now I could probably let that one, let's try to let that one get to the bottom of the screen before I collect it. I kind of hit it a little bit early for that, but just so you guys can see that. So there it is. So I have a fair few of those. This is a stage where you can collect a lot of those insta respawns, and you'll love to see that. This stage, Area 6, and I want to say Area 8 as well, maybe? Or Area 7? I might be confusing some of the areas. Kind of blur together. But this is a really long shmup, and it gets really intense as it keeps going. And, shmups usually, at least the ones that I tend to play, really clock in around, 20-30 minutes, that area. It's a pretty good amount of time. This one gets close to an hour, and that is a lot of high-intensity gameplay for quite a long time. Oh, I died. Crap. And I missed out on one of the instant respawns. But you saw, I instantly respawn there. We're going to try to get some items back. Well, okay, or we could just miss that guy. So these purple balls, they will upgrade your existing weapon as well, but they do it somewhat slower than if you were to get, say, a weapon or the same weapon multiple times in a row. I am just trying to live right now. Okay, cool. That is nice. So now really what I want to do is get a weapon back. This is the starting weapon. Not so great. The standard pea shooter. Many shmup is really pretty much not what you want to go with. But we're building up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That Photon Blaster, I think, is what I said. I like to judge shmups based on the announcer. This one's okay. Doesn't come through crystal clear. Okay, let's get that, please and thank you. Okay, so we're coming up to the boss here. Now, here's the other bummer about having this weapon. It doesn't kill that item as quickly as the laser. So really, it's going to be faster if I let that very slowly move down toward the bottom of the screen. We're going to use... I'm trying not to shoot it, but it's not succeeding very well. There we go. All right. We're going to drop some bombs on this guy. We don't want to waste too many bombs because there's more effective spots to use them for other bosses and other parts of the game. The nice thing is, if you die with 0 bombs, you'll respawn with 3 bombs. But, you know, we don't want to get to that point. Hopefully. We're going into Area 4 next. Area 4 is not too bad. Alright. That was a somewhat slower kill because we had the wrong weapon, but we got through. That shield is a lifesaver. I mean, for me, it's really easy to sleep on shield weapons in shmups because you want to do as much damage as possible. You get your multi-fires or your firepower upgrade. But shield is really great throughout this game. The only problem is it tends to time out at very inopportune times. So, yeah, we can definitely switch to this. Okay, now we get to show off a little bit different weapon. I love weapons like this, and that's a very compiled type of weapon as well. That wider shot like that. But it just does not do the damage that I want to see. It takes much longer to kill the random rank and file enemies, so I don't mess around with it too much. Although, I'm going to get this shield, and the shield happened to be on top of this, so we're going to roll with that. I probably shouldn't use shield in this stage, but I'm going to since we already took 1 death. Feeling a little bit off-kilter out of that. Yeah, something that you got to adjust on the fly. Literally and figuratively here in this shmup. Kind of bend the game to your will. Doing that a little bit here. And if it means we have a slightly weaker weapon, that's alright. We're doing okay. We do not want to kill that thing at the top of the screen like that, because there's a good chance I will not be able to get to it in time. Right. It's coming down a little bit. Oh, void. Alright. Oh, yes, I will take another shield. Alright. Let's see here. There we are. Hopefully the audio sounds okay. This game comes out pretty quiet. Even though it's got hot jams. But we'll probably have to turn it down for Lords of Thunder, since that is CD quality audio. And it is very amazing. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So not every stage, but some of these stages have mini bosses. We've seen them so far. Oh, I shot it too early. That's a bummer. Okay, so that'll go to the bottom of the screen. We'll collect that real quick. Nice breezy one. And we killed the mini boss. Not too much problem. Although that was, believe it or not, that was a pretty slow kill. Notice we have 10 bombs here. I genuinely don't know how you add to the bomb total. Just, you know, the passage of time, I guess. I don't know. There's probably an item, or, you know, a series of items you collect that add your bombs. Never really paid attention to it. Very rare to be lacking sufficient bombs. Oh, avoid the firepower. Let's roll with a shield. stage reminds me of Abadox. I mean, this is a 100% vertical shooter, not a sideways shooter at all, but the body, or the, you know, like the, you got the brains and the platelets and, I don't know what these are, cancerous cells maybe? I like Abadox. Abadox was probably the first shmup I ever played. The gut stage, there you go. So this is a pretty good one to drop a bomb on because there's just so much stuff to attack. So let's drop another one up here. So there's two forms to this boss. We're dealing with the first one now. He's gonna come and attack. And boy, do I wish that I could keep this shield a little bit longer into the next stage. Because the next stage is really where this game starts to get tricky. This was a very fast stage. Man, not as fast as I thought. Alright. This is another one where the firepower, the homing laser, can be very effective or very detrimental. Kind of depends on the exact moment in the stage that you're at. I tend to try to avoid it. If you pick it up, roll with it. This is the first stage for me where when you play casually, it's like, whoa, where did this come from? Because everything kind of looks benign. You have these obelisks, you have these pyramids. And the big pyramids, yeah, those seem pretty obvious as things that would attack you. The obelisks, maybe, but the little pyramids, I don't know. They just kind of seem... they're there. You wouldn't necessarily notice. Well, you'll notice them here shortly. Oh, now there's 2 of them. Oh, now there's 3 of them. Wow, that's... they're increasing in numbers. They're like sand people. They come back and in greater numbers. And this is one of the spots where this particular laser is maybe not all it's cracked up to be. With it, oh, I got hit at some point. That big, covering a wide area but leaving some gaps laser. Sometimes it happens to leave a gap right where you wanted it to hit. And then you have to make an adjustment. Yes, please. This is actually a pretty nice laser to have here. Again, kind of gives you a little bit of a force field type effect. And I know where that line is right in front of me. That's dead simple. Well, both the line going vertically in front of me and also how the rectangle connects in front of me. I can pretty much position myself in advantageous positions to make that work for me. Wait for that to drop and go collect it. We have 8 lives right now. This is a pretty good number of lives. And I am pretty confident, not entirely confident, but I'm pretty confident that we have most of our lives covered by the respawns. If not, we're pretty close. And that's all I'll say about that, so as to not jinx the run at it. Because so far, it's been alright. Okay, so the Moai heads. So, So for those of you who don't know, Moai heads were invented by not Capcom, the other one, Konami, for, like a marketing gimmick. A lot of people are very confused about that. They think it's like this ancient ruin thing and, it has mysterious origins. No, it was invented in the 80s by Konami to sell Gradius. And I don't know, they end up in other shmups too, sometimes. It always kind of catches me off guard, like, wait a minute, this isn't a Konami shmup. Oop, oop, oop. Oh yeah, we have... So this is a great spot to have the shield. I'm freaking out, but I have the shield. And yes, it will go away a little bit faster when I take damage, but I won't die. Oh, I should have... Too much stuff. Okay, we're gonna sell out for that. It's fine. for surviving. So I missed out on getting a shield refill. Breaks my heart. That's a real pain in the booty. This boss stinks, not because it's difficult, because it's not at all. But you'll see why. It really likes to do nothing. So this is one where you can drop a nice bomb. Are you gonna be cool? Why are you still active? Wow! Okay, the very rare one cycle on this boss. I don't know why that boss didn't start bouncing around like a rock, but he didn't. That was pretty awesome. Marathon luck, but good marathon luck. What are the chances? So that stage was fast. Yup. Saved like 13 seconds. Alright, yeah, Area 6. We can get a lot of items, but I really want a shield here, and I really want firepower. Oh, wait. Like, those things are mutually exclusive. Crap. Okay. We're gonna stick with laser. Firepower is great in this stage because the way these things spawn, the laser will go right after them. 9 out of 10 times. I would even say like 98 out of 100 times. Those other 2% can be a little bit ugly, but, you know... You gotta play the percentages. You tell me I can have success 98% of the time, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'll take that. That'll work for me. Okay, here we go. This stage has an ASAP. You'll see the little indicators saying like, oh, the enemies are gonna spawn. Well, they don't tell you like which side they're gonna spawn from, left, right, up, or down. And I'm here to tell you, you can confuse yourself pretty easily. But see, now we're collecting all these respawns, so we are going to be flush by the end of this stage as long as things don't get real crazy pants. There's a shield. So, like, worst case scenario, I pick up that shield by accident, I'm still loving life, because I can't die straight away. But by keeping this thing on, I mean, look at this. It seeks and destroys. It is a Metallica song. It is beautiful. Which may not be the best way to describe a Metallica song, but, you know, it's alright. Look how quickly it turns this thing, though. So that's obviously one I can switch. Look at that. Ah, it just cuts right through it. Give me that sweet, sweet respawn. Sometimes they like to hide the lanterns, the lamps, the alert sirens inside the HUD, which I think is real sneaky business. They'll like kind of put it underneath of your lives or your bombs. That frustrates me. Fortunately, it doesn't matter too much when you're in this situation that we're in right now. But if you are not properly equipped for this stage, forget about it. Like, doing this stage casually, you know, your first time, and, you know, just trying to scrimp and scratch and claw your way through to get, like, with any weapon. Brutal stuff. Take my advice. If you play this game, use the laser or the shield. Or no, definitely use the laser. Use the shield or the firepower, the F. Alright. Clear out the riffraff here. I actually do like to switch over to a shield right before the boss fight, which is coming up here in a little bit. I may have missed the last shield there just a few moments ago. Not the end of the world if that's the case. We can adjust. In fact, if this is the boss that I'm thinking of, this is not really that bad of a weapon at all, in fact. Yeah, okay, so we are coming up to the boss fight here. So we still have the firepower, the homing laser. Yeah, and this is the boss. Okay, so you see how this laser's ready to go. It's like, hey, let me out! Well, that's going to be good for us, because we can't actually kill the boss the way it's operating right now. We have to kill this center part, and when it's above the, I don't know, the little bandages here, this reminds me of a mummy, even though I don't think it's, like, really meant to be a mummy exactly. We already went through the desert stage, so, I mean, that would be kind of a weird choice to put it out here, but I don't, you know, it sort of looks like bandages wrapped around it. Well, this weapon is nice and powerful now. We can drop a bomb to kind of clear out some of this riffraff that we're dealing with here. Okay, I wasted a bomb there, but I wasn't sure how close we were killing it. That fight went pretty well. That fight went pretty well. I say that because I survived. Basically, that's my entire criteria for if something went well. Alright, Area 7 is kind of back to the first two areas, more of that aesthetic. And this is a deceptively difficult stage. It shouldn't be difficult, but they kind of start to stack up just enough enemies where you can't just roll with this. We're going to have a mini-boss straight away, though. So we can roll with it here. Try to get a quick kill. Or not. It wasn't even, like, anything. Okay, whatever. I feel like it's exactly what you think based on the title. Okay, so yeah, in America it's called Blazing Lasers, which, yeah, you nailed it, right? In Japan it's called Gunhead, which I like better. The ship is called a Gunhead, I think, is how that works. That's usually how shmup naming conventions work. It's like naming that, Gradius is actually not the name of the ship, that's Vic Viper. Okay, so here's a hypothetical. Would the Gradius series be better if it was called Vic Viper? I'm pretty sure that Salamander would not be better if it was called, what's the name of that, Richard Garriott. That's not the name of the ship. What's his pseudonym? Lord British. Something like that, right? Listen, I'm playing RPGs, alright? I've never played an Ultima game in my life. That's true, by the way. Yeah, Lord British. That's the name of the ship in Salamander. Which is also not necessarily called Salamander. It's sometimes called Nemesis, depending on where you are. And I guess which version of the game it is. Wait, no. Is Nemesis Gradius? Whatever. I don't know. Chat will sort me out. These are all names of games that are similar and made by Konami. But it might not be the same series of game. I may be confusing myself. Nemesis is Gradius. Yeah. Thank you, Tex. Oh, good. Tex is here. Alright. So I gotta get my mind right for the next game. So I really admire, well, I guess three people, really, now I think about it. So, the person who really kind of, like, turned me on to playing shmups, even though I, like, played some shmups as a kid, like, they weren't really my genre of choice. So, like watching Toad play, Gradius for NES and, probably some others. I can't really remember all of them. Probably Gradius 3 really, you know, wet my whistle a little bit since, you know, I had that one. That was actually my first Super Nintendo game because I could not afford to get Link to the Past. Gradius was somewhat cheaper because it wasn't made by Nintendo. So shout outs to Toad for kind of like encouraging me in his own way to, you know, give shmups a try, like an earnest try, and like, you know, it's similar to you know, the TurboGrafx as a platform, which obviously is very well known for its shmups. I mean, you're talking about consoles. I mean, forget about it. The TurboGrafx is the console for shmups. As good as Genesis and even PlayStation and Saturn are, well, especially the Japanese Saturn. But I mean, for my money, TurboGrafx is the way to go. But so I consider like two people to be like kind of the how do I want to frame this, like the masters of the shmup domain, and I'm gonna sell out. Okay, this bomb here. Okay, I'm proud of myself. I did not waste the thing. Okay, speaking of which, get that shield. Yes! Oh boy, was that close. I basically ran into a bullet to get the shield, and I got the shield right before I got hit by the bullet. 100% success. So there, to my mind, there's, I mean, I don't mean to denigrate anyone by excluding them. I apologize if anyone feels slighted by what I'm about to say, because I don't mean it that way. But there's two people that, you know, that I know fairly well that just amaze me with their shmup prowess. And one of them you're going to be seeing a little bit later, which is Aquas, who is, you know, more of a score attempt person for like actual, like, what I call, like, legitimate shmups, difficult arcade type shmups. Not to say that these aren't difficult, but I always feel like if I can play them well, then, you know, they can't be that bad. But then for console shmups, you know, the aforementioned EOD Tex there. I mean, I feel like I'm his canary in the coal mine for a lot of shmups. Like I'll play a shmup and it'll be like, and then he'll come along and destroy it. And it's so great. It's like, oh, so that's what it's like if you play it well. Cool, all right. I just remember being totally fascinated watching him play Lords of Thunder during the Retrothon. Like, oh man, look how fast you can actually kill these bosses. This is great. So Tex, I hope I do you proud during Lords of Thunder. That game is a blast. I did adopt one of your quick kills, at least to the best of my recollection. But we'll have plenty of time to talk about that, right, bud? But yeah, Tex has the console side locked down. One day I will beat Darius Twin, maybe. And Aquas pretty much has the arcade stuff locked down. And I think it's cool. It definitely excites me to see all the cool stuff that they do with this genre. Alright, so video game / shmup specific trope, release the bubbles. When times are tough, release the bubbles. Yes, please. Alright, you definitely want the shield in this stage because, or I can just get rid of it right away, but like a moron. What I was gonna say was you definitely want the shield in this stage because this stage has giant bubbles all over the daggone place. And they bounce around in some cases, sometimes they expand, and some of them you can't kill. Like some of these purple ones. Indestructible. They're Street Fighter 4 levels of indestructible. So even my massive OP laser will struggle to kill some of them. And this is frustrating too because the bubbles are moving all around, and they get inside of the lanes, or outside of the lanes, I guess whichever one you prefer. They're in between the laser shots a lot of the time. So you have to kind of try to track them down, and then they spawn more at you. Like this one, if you just shrink it down before it dies, you don't want to mess around with that, or it'll keep expanding. Pain in the booty. All right, now we have the shield. The shield just lets you breathe a sigh of relief, really. It just kind of makes things a little bit less chaotic. Because you know, whatever happens, as long as that shield is purple, as long as that beam or that field surrounding you is purple, you're not going to die in one hit. Can't do it. Game won't let you. I can drive through the bubbles. Wow, easy for me to say. I can drive through the bubbles with the spaceship, and I will not die as long as I have this shield. Now, the shield will go away very quickly if I do that, so I'm going to try to avoid it. The game is trying to throw homing missile at me. Homing missile is better than nothing, but not by much. So we try to avoid that as one of our sub-weapons. I have a real tumultuous relationship with homing missiles or homing weapons in video games. I basically think that they're junk. There are very few instances where that's not the case. None I can really recall off the top of my head. I mean, even yesterday for Metal Stoker, that homing missile, which we actually used to kill the final boss in a safer way, somewhat, does have wacky AI that will cause it to kirk out a little bit. Far be it from me to denigrate the fine people who put any of the video games that I love that have homing shots in them, because they're much better than I am. I promise you. But it does kind of become frustrating, because in theory, a homing shot should be super amazeballs fantastic, right? Not always the case. I think it's kind of designed that way on purpose. I like to believe it's on purpose. You think, oh, well, this is easy now. I don't have to pay as much attention. I can just shoot and it'll work itself out. Nope. Gotcha. Got the wrong weapon now, buddy. That's my headcanon for homing missiles or homing attacks in video games. That's right, Uber. Agando, send the bubbles. I always like that from Super C. Release the bubbles in that one stage. Was that stage 4? I want to say area 4, however they term it in Super Contra. Here's like a bubble fountain. Very easy to destroy. I mean, even the homing laser in this game, Lunatic Moth, can get a little hinky at times. If there's too much on screen, it's like, we're just going to attack nothing. or it'll attack the wrong thing. It will not necessarily attack the imminent threat. So that's not great either. It's pretty good, though, as homing shots go. You know, relatively speaking. It could be much worse, but you really have to pick your spots with it. So this is the second to last stage. This is area 8. There are 9 areas in this game. The 9th area is brutal. We've already died once, and the good thing is we've only died once, so that's nice. But we're going to die at least once or twice or 5 times in the next area. Just cannot avoid it. Can't. We're not going to have enough shield, and it becomes crazy brutal. My homing shots may be somewhat limited in their efficacy, but guess who's not limited in homing technology? The enemy AI in this game. Because boy, will they send some enemies at me, and that will not quit until they see me dead. It is real frustrating. Really frustrating, as you can imagine. Fortunately, the final boss isn't too bad in this game. It's not Gradius levels where it's free. There's actually a tiered fight that you have to go through, but it's not as crazy as the stage itself. Oh, these things can get nuts too. You want to try to clear them out before they really get to exploding. All right, this is the Devil's Crush boss. You know, you have to have that synergy in your games, I guess. I mean, like, come on. This is straight up, hey, don't forget that we have Devil's Crush available now. The finest video pinball game of all. I always screw up saying pinball video game. I always say, like, video pinball game or video game pinball. Pinball video games. Very simple. Alright, so now we have this second form, and you can only hit him when his mouth is open, which I'm failing to do. So I try to time out my shots, but I'm just thinking of that, so I'm just going to hold down the button and hope for the best. There we go. Fortunately, there's not much to this boss. As long as you shoot it right as it's opening its mouth, you kill the bubbles that it's spawning. Those bubbles will expand the longer they stay on screen, but they're not much of a threat. They die very quickly, unlike the bubbles that we were dealing with during the stage itself. There we go. Alright. We have 16 bombs and 15 lives. I don't know that all of our lives are accounted for with respawns, but I'll make a deal with y'all. If I die 17 times, I deserve to not finish this game. Okay? It's true. Like, this stage can get nuts, but not 15 or 17 deaths nuts. We can roll with this for the time being. I'm gonna get the shield though. When you can in this stage, I really like to lean on the shield, as I've done throughout most of the game, admittedly. So now we have a boss rush of sorts for this stage, And the bosses change up a little bit. You can only hit this thing when the little feeder ships are off screen and it opens up. But now there's 2 of the little baby ships that we have to kite off screen instead of just 1. Oh, yes! Alright, good. Was that a 3 cycle, 4 cycle, something like that? We did not go an extra cycle, is what the excitement was about. Alright. Nice thing about this game I didn't talk about, but you can adjust the speed to one of 4 settings. It starts on level 2. I like to keep it at level 3. That seems to strike the best balance for me. And you can just do that with the select button. So you don't have to deal with the, oh, I died, now I can't move at all trope of so many shmups. That is so brutal. It's so brutal when they do that to you. The compile doesn't have that problem. But you can see how I can kind of get to the side of enemies, or bosses, specifically, and put the hurting on them with this laser. Die. Should have used 1 bomb. I could have killed that a little bit quicker, but that's okay. Alright, my shield's about to run out, so hopefully we'll be able to get a refill here. I'm skeptical. Okay, we'll take the multi-body for the moment. Because if I can kill things quicker, there's a less chance that they will kill me. Not necessarily much less of a chance, but, you know. The more shots I have on screen, the better I'm situated. Not as good as having a shield, but it's better than not having anything. By a wide margin. I think I got that bomb off the right time. Okay, so this, again, is an enemy that we want to save our bombs for. And because, you know, we're nearing the end of the game, we're not going to be stingy with the bombs. We're just going to let them rip and run. Our goal in life for this stage is to get to the final boss with a laser. Doesn't matter which form of laser, we just want a laser so we can have that improved firepower. If we don't have a laser, that's a bummer. That's going to slow the boss fight down significantly. Alright, we got a shield here. This is not the phase that we're most concerned about, though. I believe it's the next phase and the phase after that, where we will not have a shield, where we will die multiple times, I'm sure. This game, not too bad to 1cc. I have no idea how anyone could no miss this game. 1cc, 1 coin clear, 1 credit clear. That's, you know, where you beat the game without a continue. Just in case there's anyone watching that doesn't know the nomenclature, because it baffled me for a while when I was getting into these games. No miss. I always thought, like so many people, I get comments on this on, like, Gradius runs, too, like, what does no miss mean? Because, I mean, you let some enemies go by. That's what I thought it meant, too. Like, you couldn't miss killing anything. That's not what no miss means. No miss basically means no death. It's a term that you'll see in Japanese games, like, if you die, it'll say miss, you know, so no miss, no death. That's what that refers to. We've already died, so no miss is not possible. Sad to say. Really want to kill this thing faster. Okay, you know what? That's kind of amazing. We're gonna get a shield off of that. Come on. Yes! Okay. Die. Die, 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 die. If I can carry this shield over through the next phase, we're gonna be loving life. You'll notice I took that instead of the respawn. I'm pretty sure at this point we're good on respawns. Like, we don't need to be focusing on that. And we can use those multi-drops, or item switchers, whatever. Those things can't be destroyed until they shoot their laser. Okay, here we go. Here's where it gets nuts. So imagine doing this without a shield. Not easy. Not easy. These things will collapse in and form Voltron when they line up with you. You have these other ones that will rotate around you. And it just throws so much on screen at one time! And the shield is going away. Oh my god, I made it through that section without dying! This literally could have been a no-miss run, in theory. Because that's the section. That's the one. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? Whatever else happens, I don't even care. Like, that's amazing. I'm really happy. So this thing can't shoot weapons at me anymore. Okay, so this section is pretty brutal too, though. We're not out of the woods yet. And we have no shield. So, come what may. We're gonna have a lot of the expanding junk balls. I don't know what they're actually called. I can't get that. I'll do it. I know so far it seems pretty simple because we're killing everything as it spawns, but business is going to pick up here shortly. Okay. Get that for good measure. I didn't need a weapon upgrade. Although I probably should have kept it just in case I died. That probably would have been the smart way to handle it. You can kill those, I don't know what they actually are. The blue things. Okay, here we go. These are nasty customers. I'm doing a great job of killing them, though. Okay, that's fine. Yes! Yes! Alright, let's go! Alright. Okay. Okie dokie! Where's love and life? Probably do that too. Oh man. Come on. Basically, we just completely torched that boss. Like, to a ridiculous degree. We're actually making pretty good time on this boss fight. Alright, so Form 2. We have this nice young lady here. She shoots some lasers. The missiles are mostly inconsequential. I could drop some bombs on her, I guess. I mean, we have enough bombs to spare at this point. And we have the laser firepower. Basically, if you have, like, your pea shooter on that wall that we destroyed, we would still be going at that. Probably eating a few deaths, too. Just because there's so many bullets on screen and they jam you up. Okay. Form 2, done. Form 3, let's go. Final form of the game, guys. 18 lives. I think we're going to make it. I don't want to be hubristic, but I think we're good. The hard part is over, I promise you that. If I screw this up to the tune of losing 18 lives here, that's on me. That's not the game being brutal. That's me being a giant moron. It's possible, but I don't see it happening. This is going to be a real nice time, too. I think we're looking to cruise into about a 53-ish. You can kill these things, like, right as they're about to expand. Which I'm trying to do, but I'm not succeeding at very well. There we go. Alright, there it is. Let's see. Oh, man. Is this going to be a sub 53? So we're going to be within a minute of world record for this marathon run? Alright, I can't ask for much more. Oh, get a delicious sip of water here. You'll notice I have 68 lives now. Almost nice. Not quite nice. Alright, this ending's pretty boring. Oh, wow, 52-59. Alright. That's pretty good. I'm going to show you guys something pretty cool. This ending ain't about much. If you want to play on a harder difficulty, like the Supreme difficulty or whatever, they give you a code at the end of credits and everything. You just go 2-1-2-1-2-1-2-1-2-1-2-1, or like press select and do 2-1-2-1-2. I don't know, something like that. You can look it up. I wanted to show you something here real quick though before we play the next game. So let's there's let's see. We'll show off 3 games. That's an oddly named game. Is there a leaderboard for shmups? There are, Uber Disco, not for this one though. What is this? What is this foolishness? I guess this is sort of a shooter. Oh yeah, let me put the turbo on, huh? So there is a project called Nesta PCE. That converts Nintendo games to PC Engine. And this is one of them. I just wanted to show off 3 here very briefly in, I think, order of increasing quality. This one has a little bit of rough sounds. But I just think it's super neat that they've done this. Let's play like a stage of this because it's taking about a minute. And we're about 5 minutes ahead of my run there. I love the terrible sounds that just constantly play. Also, Turbo and Contra. It's ridiculous. Alright, that's good enough. We don't need to deal with the boss like this. Alright, so here's the one you're probably pretty familiar with as well. You may have heard of this game. Please enjoy. Not jams. Well, your mileage may vary on the jams of this one. I personally think this is tremendous. It's very overexposed. Like the it looks like someone turned up the brightness to 1000. But I like how the song sounds. It's way faster, and that's the perfect emote, Mike. That's pretty much covers it. Oh, I should also mention, thank you for the, let's see. Anyone got a link? I think you could just do a Google search for it, honestly, for the Nesta PC Engine. There's only a handful of games that, okay. Man, I mean, like, they turned the jaunt up on this tune to about 1 million. And if you know anything about me, you know I love a jaunty tune. Oh, listen to the fireworks sounds, too. It's a little weird. I guess it sounds more weird the more of them there are. You gotta do the Mario bind downs here. No, not for this version. Yeah, Blazing Laser's second loop is actually Super Mario Bros. First loop. I didn't intend to play this much of this game, but I haven't died yet. With that. Although, that may be changing here shortly. That's not how you're supposed to do that. The jump didn't jump. Alright, one more, very quickly. There's a couple extras that I'm not going to show, but this one's near and dear to my heart. Oh, there it was at the bottom. SMP1 by Compile. This is the best one, to my mind, anyway. Like, sounds right. A little bit of crunchiness there and the screen transition, but like it's Mega Man. This feels so slow after playing that Mario game. Holy cow. This feels really weird. Surprisingly uncursed. Yeah. I think that's fair. Better port than Mega Man DOS. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a totally different game made by 2 people? 1 person? Mega Man DOS, I mean. I mean, Mega Man DOS stinks, but, like, calling it a port is maybe a little generous. But yeah, the sentiment that you've offered is not wrong. What a pal! Already better than Wily Wars. Well. Oh yeah, I can use Turbo too. Why am I not doing that? Not that it's super advantageous here. But it's the principle of the thing, you know? Alright, that's enough. Let's move on. Let's switch over and we'll play some Lords of Thunder. Hang tight, everyone.